Hi, I'm Danielle, your online English speaking tutor. In this video, I will share 3 tips to help you remember new English vocabulary words. However, before I get started, I want to say thank you so much for watching this video and any of my other videos. And if you enjoy watching these videos, please click the subscribe button. That way you will never miss one. Okay, so now let's get started. Remembering new words in a new language can be really difficult. And it's even worse when you forget what you want to say while speaking. But don't worry, it happens to everyone, including me. However, after learning my 3 tips for remembering English words, it'll be much easier for you to think of them. Tip number 1. One way to help you remember new English vocabulary words is to make connections. For example, the word gadget describes a small device or machine that is used for a particular purpose. So what are some examples of gadgets? Well, phones, tablets, zip drives. Now, you should be making connections in your brain to help you think of gadgets that you use in your daily life. And see, now these connections in your brain are being formed, and it should help you remember the vocabulary word in the future. So when you learn a new word, try to think of what you use, people you know, or things you like to do. And that can help you make and build connections in your brain to remember the words. Tip number 2, use a vocabulary notebook. After learning a new word, write it down in a notebook. And be sure to write down the sentence that you saw the word used in. This will make it much easier for you to not only remember the word, but exactly how to use it. And when you have a notebook, you want to make sure that it's well organized. Just like you, I'm also a language learner. However, I'm learning Spanish. And this is my vocabulary notebook. So I'm going to open it and I'm going to show you my first pages here. So as you can see, I just wrote a bunch of words in Spanish. I put the translation in English. But guess what? I don't remember probably any of these words. And I really don't like studying these pages because it doesn't help me remember how I learned these words, why I should use these words, why I thought I should write them down. Now, let me move forward and show you how I've organized my notebook. Let me show you a page that's much better. And on this page, at the top, I have a category, and I only write about words, or I write words only related to this category. So let me get to the page, and at the top here, it says ropas y moda. So this particular page is about like clothes and fashion. And as you can see, I have written sentences. So that's how I learned these new vocabulary words in these sentences. And as you can see, I underlined the new words that I learned. And so this made it so much easier for me to remember these words because now I know why they were being used, and I actually have really good examples so that when I want to use them in the future, I can maybe use these same sentences or sentences that are much similar, very similar to what you see here. And again, you see, I have like a category at the top of the page. And then on this page, all of the sentences only include vocabulary words related to clothes and fashion. And I have other categories in my notebook. For example, like about sports, certain like expressions, certain ways to talk about food or cooking. I have all of these different categories in my notebook, and so only words related to those categories are on each page. And so that's my really big tip for using a vocabulary notebook. You want to make sure it's really well organized. You can even use a vocabulary notebook to help you with learning grammar as well. For example, I have pages for certain words I have trouble remembering, like certain prepositions. So like if you have trouble with using the prepositions in, on, or at, well, you could create a page and at the top write in, sentences with in, and then you write it down. You write those sentences down to help you remember when to use in, help you remember when to use on. If you have trouble remembering when to use the simple past tense, have a page, and write sentences using the simple past. Or if you have trouble remembering the irregular verbs in the past, have a page for that. And so you can use this, again, as a vocabulary notebook, and again, also like a grammar notebook that can really help you study and remember words too. Now, on to the last tip, number 3. Use the words you learn. When you learn a new word, well, just use it. So you can create your own example sentences. You can write them down in your vocabulary notebook. You can record yourself saying your example sentences as well, and that can give you some speaking practice at home. If you have trouble coming up with your own examples, then check a dictionary. You should be able to find plenty of example sentences in a dictionary. You can write those down yourself. They could give you some ideas to help you create your own sentences. And also, you can say the words out loud. You can say the sentences out loud that you see in a dictionary. And this will help you remember words. This will help you, again, make a connection. And to be honest, the more you use a word, the much easier it will be for you to remember it in the future. Okay, so just to recap, the top 3 ways to help you remember new English vocabulary words are to, number 1, make connections. Number 2, use a well-organized vocabulary notebook. And number 3 is to use the words, because the more you use them, the much easier it'll be for you to never forget them. So those are the top 3 tips. If you have any questions, please let me know in a comment below. If you have a tip for a way to remember new English vocabulary words that I did not mention, share it below so that other English language learners can learn from you as well. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please press the like button and subscribe to this channel. Have a great day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.